Season 27 of Big Brother delivered intense drama, shifting alliances, and surprising eliminations. One of its most popular figures, Keanu Soto, exited before the finale, but he emerged as a fan favorite, winning America's Favorite Player, AFP. Since his eviction, Soto has reflected on his gameplay, relationships with fellow contestants, and his path forward. After leaving the game, Keanu took to social media to reveal his feelings after watching some of the edited episodes of Big Brother 27. House guest diary rooms reveal true feelings of each contestant. He admits that Ava Pearl calling him creepy was disappointing to hear. He also mentions that he trusted Vince repeatedly, even after experiencing lies and broken promises, because they had developed a sibling-esque bond. He said that although Vince protected him sometimes, he never significantly advanced Keanu's game. When Rachel Riley left the game early, Keanu said his strategy shifted. He would have liked to go to the end with Rachel, believing she would advocate for him, but when that plan failed, he leaned more heavily on Vince. Keanu reflected on early game missteps, including instances when he publicly threatened to pick people off one by one. He said he intended to diffuse pressure from his allies by positioning himself as a threat, but the move backfired, painting him as dangerous to both allies and opponents. He views that as a turning point he would handle differently if given another chance. He also discussed how rumors and whispers from other house guests influenced his decisions. He admitted he sometimes overtrusted information based on the source rather than verifying it himself. He expressed regret for those moments when he let outside voices override his instincts. That said, he stood by some of his core decisions, especially his refusal to betray close allies without compelling reason. He continued to describe his relationship with Rachel as complex, oscillating between mutual trust and skepticism, but ultimately one of the more emotionally real connections from the season. Keanu Soto left Big Brother Season 27 as the winner of America's Favorite Houseguest, receiving over 65% of the public vote. He placed fifth in the jury vote but earned the $50,000 prize reserved for the fan favorite. He described the recognition as deeply validating. He said he wanted to stay true to himself inside the game, and he felt the public vote confirmed that his approach resonated with viewers. In post-season interviews, he expressed gratitude and surprise for how strongly viewers supported him. Keanu emphasized that he never wanted to change his personality just to win. He said his gameplay prioritized honesty and consistency. Being awarded the fan favorite status reinforced his belief that people value authenticity in a reality competition. He also acknowledged that the jury dynamics differed. He praised Ashley Hollis's final moves, particularly her decision to evict Morgan, and he agreed that her social and strategic choices earned her the win. Meanwhile, he felt some disappointment in Vince's jury management and emotional tactics. Keanu's reflections suggest he views the jury's decision as a legitimate outcome, even though he did not win the top prize. Now that Big Brother has ended for him, Keanu Soto is considering his next steps in reality television and beyond. He mentioned interest in competing on the challenge, or even returning to Big Brother one day, with the ambition of becoming a two-time winner. He also plans to invest his prize money wisely and take time off to reset after the pressures inside the house. Given his fan recognition and physical competitiveness, Keanu could pursue opportunities in reality competition shows, influencer work, or other entertainment projects. He appears open to leveraging his newfound platform while staying true to the authentic identity the audience embraced. In sum, Keanu Soto's post-season narrative underscores perseverance, humility, and self-reflection. Big Brother House on Season 27, a season that, even weeks removed, still felt like a fever dream he kept waking up from. He left the house in the way most players learn too late how to leave: one eviction too many, one jury vote short of the final triumph he'd imagined in his quieter hours. But the public's verdict was not the same as the jury's. Keanu returned to a different kind of win, America's Favorite Player, with more than 65% of the public's vote and the $50,000 prize that came packaged with it. For months he'd felt the difference between being titled player and being called authentic. The prize felt like proof, not of perfect gameplay, but of connection. The first thing he did after the cameras stopped following him was sit alone in his apartment and watch the episodes. Not to relive his best moves or to count allies and enemies, but because he wanted to see how the story he'd been part of was being told to the world. He expected edits, everyone does. What surprised him was the rawness of some moments, the diary room confessions, the tight smiles, the private pivots, that felt like windows into people he'd lived with for months. Ava Pearl's line hit him before any other. He remembered the argument in passing, remembered the awkward silences, remembered that in the house every slight could feel amplified. But seeing her say, on camera, that he was creepy landed differently. It was one thing to exchange barbs under the heat of competition, it was another to have an idea of you stitched into the public narrative like a label. It stung, Keanu would tell interviewers later, the words precise but not theatrical. I was like, that's not me. That isn't how I think about myself. And hearing it from someone you spent weeks around? It's disappointing. He replayed that moment in his head a lot, because nothing in the house existed in isolation. Every comment, accusation, or whispered theory pushed him to make a choice: defend, deflect, or internalize. Keanu admitted, with the weary candor that made him oddly endearing to viewers, that he sometimes internalized too much. He trusted people who, in the moment, seemed invested in him. He overtrusted at times. He let rumors and whispers, repeated like myths, influence strategic choices he might otherwise have questioned. Vince was the center of many of those choices. On paper, Vince had the kind of presence that makes partnerships easy. Quick jokes, protective instincts, the kind of laugh that makes you think the world is still safe enough for jokes. Keanu had spent weeks leaning on that presence. He describes it, afterward, as sibling-esque, more a companionship carved from shared vulnerability than a calculated alliance. There were nights when Vince shielded him from votes. There were times Vince's name softened the blow of a tense conversation. But protection was not the same as elevation. Vince protected me, Keanu said in one interview, but he didn't really help my game. He'd save me in a vote, sure, but he didn't push my narrative forward. He didn't get in the rooms to take the shots that would have made me unattackable. That distinction is what defined Keanu's bittersweet reflection. He liked Vince. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this update, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Reality Radar for more Big Brother and reality TV news. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.